This is a calm Italian bedtime story. Let your eyes close and simply listen. Night arrives in Bologna with a soft, unhurried grace. The day steps back quietly, and the city does not shout about it. It simply dims. The last traces of sunlight pull away from the rooftops, and the first lamps begin to glow beneath the long lines of porticoes. Warm light touches brick and stone, filling the arches with a gentle amber tone. You stand at the edge of a quiet street, beneath one of those arches, and take a slow breath. The air is mild, with a slight coolness that carries the scent of stone, dust, and something faintly roasted from a cafe that has just closed. Above you, the ceiling of the portico stretches in a soft rhythm of curves and beams. Columns repeat in a calm procession, one after another, drawing your eyes into the distance. The ground beneath you is smooth and slightly uneven, worn by 1,000 days and nights before this one. You begin to walk. Your footsteps land lightly on the stone floor. They make a soft sound that blends with the silence instead of disturbing it. The city is resting. On your left, shop windows are dark, their signs resting quietly above closed shutters. On your right, doors lead into stairwells and inner courtyards. Somewhere behind the walls, someone is washing dishes. Someone else is turning down a bed. You do not see them, but you feel the quiet presence of their lives. The portico guides you forward, like a gentle hand placed at your back. It narrows and widens, turns slightly, rises with a small slope, and then levels again. But it never breaks. Its continuity is comforting. No sudden empty spaces. No open sky you have to cross. You are sheltered here. You pass a small side alley where the portico opens briefly onto the uncovered street. The sky above that gap is deep blue, almost black, holding only a few faint stars and the suggestion of distant clouds. You pause and look for a moment, then step back under the arches where the light is warm and steady. Ahead, the street bends gently toward Piazza Maggiore. As you walk closer, the space begins to widen. The portico lifts slightly, as if the building itself is inhaling. You reach the edge of the square and stop beneath the last arch for a moment. Piazza Maggiore opens before you, like a quiet stone lake. Its surface is made not of water, but of large slabs of stone, worn smooth by countless footsteps. Tonight, there are only a few. A person crossing the far side. Someone sitting on the steps near the basilica, head bowed, lost in their own thoughts. The buildings that surround the square stand calmly in the night. Their facades glow in the soft illumination of the lamps. The basilica watches over everything with its wide, unfinished face, part marble, part brick, all patience. You step out from under the portico and walk slowly into the open space. The air feels slightly cooler away from the shelter of the arches. Your footsteps sound a little different here, more open, more echoing. You move toward the center of the square and turn in a slow circle, taking in the quiet grandeur of the place. No one is hurrying. No one is loud. The city feels like it has settled into a deep, calm breath. You walk toward the steps of the basilica and sit down. The stone beneath you is firm and slightly cool. You place your hands beside you and feel the texture of it. It is solid, full of time. From here, you can see the porticoes that feed into the square. Rows of arches, branching out like gentle paths that lead into other parts of the night. Some are brighter, some are dimmer, some almost completely dark. You watch a person cross the piazza, their shadow stretching long on the stone, then folding back into itself as they pass under a lamp and vanish under an archway. The square breathes with you. You stay there for a while, saying nothing, doing nothing. The city does not ask anything of you. It simply allows you to be part of its quiet. After some time, you stand again and walk back toward the nearest portico. As soon as you step under it, the world feels more contained. The ceiling above frames your view. The columns on either side give your eyes a steady rhythm to follow. You decide to walk toward the two towers. The street narrows as you go. Shops become smaller, and some are built into spaces that feel almost too narrow for them. Balconies lean overhead, some with plants that hang in still clusters of leaves. The towers appear gradually. First, you sense their height, in the way your eyes begin to lift. Then you catch sight of their upper sections, darker against the night sky. Finally, you see them whole, rising above the roofs like quiet guardians. The taller one leans slightly, as if listening. You slow your pace as you approach them. The space here is more open, but still anchored by porticos on the sides. A few bicycles rest against a wall. A lamppost stands near the base of a tower, its light forming a pale circle on the ground. You stand beneath the towers and look up. Their silhouettes are strong and simple. No decoration calls for attention. They are just tall, patient, and present. You imagine how many nights like this they have seen, how many quiet moments of someone stopping beneath them, breathing, thinking, or not thinking at all. The air here feels a touch cooler. You let it pass through you, clearing away whatever is left of the day's noise. When you are ready, you turn back under another portico and let it guide you into a different direction. This one is slightly older. Its columns are thicker. The floor is marked with faint lines where water once flowed or carts once rolled. On one side, you notice a small courtyard through an open gate. Inside, a single tree stands in the center, its leaves dark and still. A lamp mounted on the wall shines down on it, making the leaves look almost like they are made of soft metal. You walk on. The arches rise and fall, their shapes repeating until they feel like a quiet mantra. Your mind begins to follow that rhythm. Forward, forward, forward. Column, space, column, space. Light, shadow, light, shadow. You pass by a closed cafe with its chairs stacked neatly inside. The word Chuso glows faintly on a small sign. Through the glass, you see the faint reflection of the portico lights behind you. Further ahead, you find a narrower side street, where the portico is lower and the lamps are dimmer. You decide to follow it. This part of the city feels more intimate. The ceilings are lower. The walls are closer. The light is gentler. You pass a doorway where a small mat lies outside, slightly crooked, as if someone stepped on it not long ago. Above, a window is open, just a crack, enough to let in the night air. You can hear a quiet sound from inside. Not words, not music, just the soft movement of life winding down. You continue walking until you reach a spot where the portico widens into a tiny square, barely more than a widening of the street. Here, a single bench sits under an arch. The lamp above it bathes it in a soft halo of light. You sit without thinking much about it. From this bench, you can look down the length of the portico in one direction and in the other. Both ways stretch out like long corridors of calm. You place your hands on your knees and let your shoulders relax. You notice how your breath has become slower, how your thoughts have grown quieter. The city around you holds its own silence. It is not empty. It is simply at rest. After a while, you rise and continue. You wander back toward the center, letting the pattern of the porticos lead you without much plan. If the path slopes up, you follow it. If it bends, you turn. If it narrows, you let it narrow. Eventually, you find yourself moving toward a different side of Piazza Maggiore, approaching it from another angle. This time, you do not cross the open square. You stay under the arches and walk along the edge. From here, you can see the piazza framed between columns, the basilica, the stones, the few remaining figures crossing in the distance. You feel both close to it and gently separated from it, like someone watching a quiet scene through a window. You come to a halt near a column where the lamp above is softer than the others. You lean lightly against the stone and let your head rest back for a moment. The ceiling above curves away in a soothing, simple shape. You close your eyes. You feel the faint vibration of your own breathing, the gentle weight of your body, the support of the stone behind you. The noises are almost nothing now. A distant roll of something metallic, a small burst of laughter that fades as soon as it appears, the whisper of the wind passing through an alley. Time stretches. There is nowhere you have to be. Nothing you must decide. The night has taken the responsibility of holding everything for you. When you open your eyes again, the scene has not changed much. It feels softer though, as if your vision has learned to rest. You push away from the column and begin to walk once more, this time in the direction from which you first came. The portico guides you back the way it guided you forward. The same arches, the same floor, the same gentle lights. They look different only because you are more relaxed now. You notice the subtle shine on the stone where countless feet have passed. You notice a small crack in a wall where a plant has found a place to grow. You notice the shadows of the arches on the ceiling, stretching in long curved lines. Everything feels slow and kind. You reach the point where the portico opens again onto a smaller street. You recognize this place. It is near where you began. The air is even quieter now. Most windows are dark. A single lamp remains on over a doorway, its light a soft, steady presence. You pause under it. You take a final deep breath. The scent of stone, faint dust, and distant cooking lingers in the air like a comforting memory. Your eyelids feel heavier. Your body feels warmly weighted, as if gravity has become a gentle blanket rather than a pull. You turn toward the doorway that leads you back inside. You cross the threshold and leave the night outside, but you bring its calm with you. The room you enter is dim and safe. You sit or lie down, letting your body find a place where it can release its last traces of tension. You notice the way your back settles, the way your arms relax at your sides, the way your breathing moves easily in and out. The porticos of Bologna remain outside, holding their long lines of arches and light, stretching quietly through the night. The square rests, the towers watch, the city sleeps. You are part of that rest now. Your thoughts drift like slow footsteps under a ceiling of arches. Your awareness softens, folding in on itself, until only warmth and quiet remain. Tonight, Bologna keeps you company. Tonight, the endless porticos carry your worries away. Tonight, you are safe, and sleep can finally come. More Italian bedtime stories coming very soon. If you enjoyed this moment of calm, subscribe and like the video for more gentle storytelling.